Hello everyone and welcome. I am One Lost Sheep yet again, and before I begin this video I do want to say basically sorry for not being so about oh, lately on the channel. Basically I've had a combination of some personal stuff to deal with on my end, coupled with basically catching the vid, which, COVID 100% don't recommend it. It's not nice, very unpleasant. So I've been basically trying my best to recover. And even now, I'm not fully there. I'm now negative, but might hear it in my voice where I strain sometimes to say things. Oh god, say some things. And that's because I'm still recovering from it. So yeah, you have to bear with me with that. But either way, on with the show. So anyway, Sonic Origins. That's a collection that just released to some questionable fanfare the last, about a week or two back. And basically this collection is what I've been nagging Sega for literally years. It is finally the Christian Whitehead Taxman stealth versions of Sonic 1, Sonic 2 and Sonic CD, all packaged into one collection and released onto all the platforms. And that's not just including those games. Oh no. They included Sonic 3 and Knuckles as well, which has been rebuilt from the ground up in the retro engine to be added onto this collection. And unfortunately, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest, the best way to really describe this collection is it's unfinished. It's an unfinished game collection that seems to be duct taped together. Now, in terms of how playable the games are, I will 100% be honest. All the games, all four games, I've had some issues with Sonic 3, but all four games in general are 100% playable from start to end. So this is a good way to play them. And on top of that, there are a ton of great extra little features that have been added to this collection. For example, there's a new museum that you can access, which has all sorts of concept art, videos, all sorts of stuff like that, which, it's all personal preference if you care about that stuff. There's a brand new mirror mode that's been added to the game, which basically flips every single game that mirrors every single game, so you move to the left instead of the right. And this mirror mode is best described as, well, it's a thing. I don't know how often I play it because it really fucks with my muscle memory, to be honest. Like it's a unique way to play the games, that's for sure. There's a brand new Blue Spheres mode with more spheres to deal with. There's the original Blue Spheres mode added onto this, which is also great. They've even added boss rushes to all of the games, as well as a unique mission mode that you can access, which gives you all these cool, don't know what I'm doing with my hands here, little cool bite-sized challenges that you can accomplish in any of the Sonic games, which, honestly, this is probably the standout feature of the collection for me, because I actually really love this mission mode. It is really fun to just jump into these bite-sized missions and try to get all the objectives done within the time limit in order to try to access an S rank, because you get ranked at the end. And your reward is basically coins. Now, coins is a new form of currency that's been introduced in Sonic Origins that replaces the live system outright. And with these coins, you can purchase things in the museum, you can purchase things, like videos, music, etc. And you can also use them as a currency to retry special stages to get those darned Chaos Emeralds whenever you are struggling, which is honestly a really super handy feature. It's actually the highlight feature of the collection for me, is being able to just lose a special stage, spend a coin, and then try it again. This is such a wonderful quality of life thing, especially with Sonic 1. Fuck Sonic 1 special stages. I bloody hate those things. Half the time I don't feel in control, and half the time it's pot luck whether I get access to the Chaos Emerald or not. But yeah, moving on from there though, the general quality of each of the ports are, well, for the most part, what you kind of expect. Sonic 1 is the mobile version of Sonic 1. It is what it is. Sonic CD is the same as the 2013. Was it 2013? Or was it 2011? Well, either way, it's the same version as the earlier release of Sonic CD, although now with all of the fancy menus gutted from it. And instead, you have the original menus to access, such as, well, like in the Sega Mega CD version. And here's also when you need to change the soundtrack. You need to make sure to deliberately load up Sonic CD to change the soundtrack, because this collection does offer a story mode. And the story mode basically combines all 4 games into one big game, which is honestly really cool. I actually quite dig that, and it even adds extra intros and outros to each game. It doesn't replace the Sonic CD intros and outros, so it plays those in conjunction with the new stuff as well, which is very nice. But if you're playing in story mode, the soundtrack by default is the American soundtrack. So if you're if you grew up playing the original Japanese release or the British or European releases of the game, you may want to switch the soundtrack over to something a bit more familiar, which you can do so from the game itself manually. It's a bit awkward, you have to leave story mode to go into the game itself to change the setting. I don't know why the game options wasn't included in a broader options menu, but oh well, it is what it is. It's how they handled it. Bit annoying, but it is what it is. Speaking of options, the options list, I'm kind of annoyed at their placement. Basically, you need to go into the museum section of the world map to access the game options. And here you can customize things like your resolution if you're on PC. You can turn anti-aliasing on and off. For the love of God, don't turn it on. It blurs the whole screen, you don't want it. But basically, these options, there's not really much to them. And honestly, I would kind of prefer these options menus if they had per game options hidden in them. But unfortunately, Sega doesn't really want to give us too many choices, it seems. So there's a lot of issues here and there in regards to this options menu. It feels a little bare bones. There's not much to it. And speaking of the mobile versions as well, the mobile versions of these games are still not 100% one-to-one with their last release. So, for example, if you're playing Sonic 2, obviously Hidden Power Zone is back. They brought it back, but you cannot access the Egg Gauntlet Zone, for example, in Sonic 2. It's been removed. It's gone. It's outside of the game, which is kind of a shame, honestly, because that was a really cool thing that they had in the mobile version, even if it was a hidden thing that I don't think was meant to actually be in there, but it got in there anyway. So it's kind of a shame that's no longer about. But generally, at least the first few games, Sonic 1, CD, and 2 are, they're just as good as you remember them. I will say they've added the drop dash in every single game in this collection as well. And in Sonic 1 and 2, the drop dash performs a little bit weirdly, and that's because Sonic 1 and 2's jumping mechanics have a lock. So basically, whenever you spin on the ground and then jump, your direction is locked. Now, this makes it very unwieldy to use the drop dash efficiently. So say Sonic CD, you can instantly drop dash to the left or right, which completely breaks the time travel mechanics, mind you. But in Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, you can't do that, so you're kind of stuck in a direction, which makes the drop dash feel a bit more janky. I was kind of hoping that Sega would disable that jump lock to make Sonic 1 and 2 control a bit more like CD and 3, but fortunately mods are to the rescue there. You can easily mod this game on PC and fix that as one of the first mods to come out, which I'm happy about. But moving on, we now have Sonic 3 to talk about, and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is interesting. Now, remember how I said this whole collection is basically unfinished, which it is. It's basically held together with duct tape and glue. The same can also be said for Sonic 3, and this was by admittance of one of the people who worked on it, Stealth, who tweeted out saying that he wasn't happy with the state of Sonic 3 because the team just basically didn't have the time to fix it up. So a lot of these problems with Sonic 3, 100% are probably because the team didn't have the time to fix it. So first of all, there's bugs everywhere. Now, I haven't actually encountered that many bugs myself, personally. I got quite lucky. But a lot of people online have encountered tons of bugs, and it's very well documented if you want to go out of your way to look and see what they are. But for me, the biggest issues I have with Sonic 3 involve the physics and the collision detection. So the physics, first of all, they're not exactly one-to-one with the original Sonic 3, which isn't a big problem, necessarily. Like, even the other classic Sonic games in here aren't one-to-one the same as the Mega Drive versions, you know? But in Sonic 3, I feel it a lot more because it hurts my muscle memory in Sonic 3. So, for example, there's a certain special ring in Hydro City that I can no longer get as Sonic alone, because you cannot physically jump high enough. You know, there's silly things like that now that exist in the game. In Marble Garden Zone, there's a certain section at the very start where if you crouch, and you can just basically spin all the way into a room where you get an extra, you know, you get yourself a lightning shield. Doesn't work anymore. Now you awkwardly hit a wall and just drop like a rock. So, yeah, the physics need a little bit of tweaking there. And in certain instances as well, the game will make Sonic move so fast to a ridiculous degree that he will go off screen and die. So that's another problem, you know. This version of Sonic 3, probably not the best in that regards. And also in terms of the collision detection, I've had issues where I'll get crushed by seemingly nothing in a couple of times. There's been a couple of times where I've tried to jump into a special ring, but the game won't register it, so I had to awkwardly wait a bit longer for the special stage to stay there for longer before I can jump into it. There's a lot of, like, awkwardness. The base game and everything else, though, I don't really have much to complain about. You know, the drop dash is a welcome addition. And, you know, outside of these little quirks, it feels great to play. But Sonic 3 also has another issue. Well, an issue is depending on who you are. Some people will find this an issue, other people won't. The soundtrack is different now in Sonic 3. So, instead of the original Michael Jackson sound team, obviously Sega aren't allowed to use it. So they had to replace it. And the new soundtracks are based off of the original Sonic 3 prototype soundtracks, or the Sonic & Knuckles PC collection music, if you've played that. And I'm not sure how to feel about them originally. Like, when I first heard the new soundtrack, I was like, I hate this. But the more time has gone on, the more and more I've grown to actually really, really like the new soundtracks. Do they replace the originals for me? Probably still not, but I'll say with those, your best chance is to give them a shot, you know, because when you hear them on their own, they don't sound great on their own, but when you hear them in conjunction to the gameplay, they do fit pretty well, I feel. So it's one of those situations, like, my opinion of the soundtrack got better after I played it with the soundtrack on in the background. But I digress. So, you know, a burning question many people may have is this the definitive way to play these games? No. No, it's not. I wish I could say this was the definitive way to play these games. But it's not. There's too many problems. There's too many issues. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the quality of life features, and I do love the overall packaging, even if it is very clearly stuck together with duct tape. But there's a lot of issues with this collection, so I honestly cannot call it the definitive way to play these games. You're better off playing some of the mods of the decompiled Sonic 1 and 2, like Sonic 1 Absolute of Sonic 2 Forever. I think I got those backwards. Sonic 1 Forever and Sonic 2 Absolute, you know, you're better off probably trying them. Or Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited, which is by far a better version of Sonic 3. Although I do have, like, weird micro stutters when I play that. No matter what, if I got it on my phone, I get micro stutters on there. I got it on PC, I get micro stutters on there. But I don't know what causes them. Most people don't seem to notice this, so it could just be a me thing. But, yeah. Yeah, it's not the definitive way to play these games. It's probably the definitive official way, especially if this collection gets patched. Like, if this collection gets patched, I will actually be 100% happy. But as it stands right now, if I were to recommend it, steep sale. Don't get it at full price. Do not get this at full price. It's not worth it. I mean, I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You can get it at full price, but I don't recommend it. I'd honestly say wait for a sale, unless you're a crazy hardcore Sonic fan like I am, in which case, you know, you probably already know what you're getting into anyway. But yeah, it is a nice way to play Sonic 1, 2, and 3. It is cool that it has infinite lives now. A lot of people online take a lot of hate towards that, but to be fair, the only people this will affect is newcomers to the game, which I think they'll appreciate. Infinite lives. Let's be fair, like, the only people I've seen complaining about extra lives are the people who won't really be affected by the fact it has extra lives anyway, because they played these games so much that they can't possibly get game overs. But that's just me. That's just my little opinion on that. But honestly, yeah, don't recommend it at full price. It's an okay collection, but it needs patches desperately. And also, Sega. Why the hell is Knuckles not playable in Sonic CD? Why did... Like, that is such a... That would have been perfect. Like, just grab Knuckles and plop him into Sonic CD. In fact, certain inconsistencies throughout all the games are available here. So, for example, like, in Sonic 1, you can't seem to play as Sonic and Tails. But in Sonic 2, you can play as Sonic and Tails. Knuckles and Tails as well. But in Sonic 3, you're stuck to just Sonic and Tails again. And in Sonic CD, you're Sonic or Tails. It's like, guys, at least make the character selection across all 4 games consistent. Ugh. Yeah, that's all I gotta say here. The collection, you know, it's held together with duct tape and glue, basically. It needed more development time. That's my main takeaway here. Do I like it? Yeah, of course I like it. Sonic 1, 2, 3. Can I recommend it? That's where things become a bit more of a question mark. That's all I really gotta say on this game. Overall, there's a lot of great features, and there's a lot of great problems. So, if the problems get ironed out, 100% I'll be able to recommend this, but as the time being, before it gets patched, nah, mate. Get it on a sale. It's worth it on a sale, trust me. But for now, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish. And I shall hopefully catch you all again. I got a video coming out with Klonoa, if you guys want to check that out soon. Because that just came out at the day I'm recording this. So I'm looking forward to, you know, hovering Klonoa, because that game, admittedly, is a masterpiece. But anyway, for now, thanks for watching. I shall see you after. Bye!